Hi, Verbling. My name's Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And today we're talking about travel vocabulary and having some conversation about travel experiences or hopes and dreams for future travel experiences. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Fine.
I'm doing very well. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
So, how
Another
was your week?
Friday.
Yeah.
Yes,
How was your week?
as usual.
Yeah. And are you excited for the World Cup starting?
Mm, Something because the winter, the summer is coming,
Mhm.
and we can do another things like going to the swimming pool and play with my children. I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm. Cool. Sounds like you have some good plans.
Yes.
All right. Dalal, welcome to class.
Hi.
Did I say your name right? Dalal?
No, and my name is Dalal.
Hmm. I'm having a little. Sorry, what? I'm having a little trouble hearing you, Dalal. Can you hear me? All right. I'll come back to you. Elena, welcome to class.
Hello, thank you.
Good to see you again, Elena.
Yeah, me too, thank you.
Are you excited for the World Cup that's starting soon?
Not so much. I'm not a football fan, but it's okay. My husband is looking at, okay, he's watching. So sometimes I'm
Very
sharing.
cool. So you're updated a little by your husband.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right, Javier, it's good to see you in class, Javier.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. I saw you just a couple hours ago, so it's good to see you again. I'm glad you're exploring the classes.
Okay.
Paolo, welcome to class.
Hi, thanks a lot.
How are you doing, Paolo?
Nothing special. I'm trying to improve my English.
Excellent. Good
Just
plans, getting ready
trying.
for the weekend, I guess.
Nothing special because in Italy it's scorching nowadays. So I have got two kids that are just toddlers. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's a good idea going out in a park or something like that. So I prefer staying at home with my air conditioning turning on.
All right, good choice.
Yeah,
And
yes,
good to have you with us.
thanks.
And Tatiana, welcome to class.
Hello,
Hi, Tatiana, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Did you change your picture?
Uh, yes, I changed my picture, but it's my first time I'm here in your
Oh,
class.
okay. New student with me. Well, it's nice to meet you, Tatiana. My name's Michaela.
Uh-huh.
And if you have any questions about me or about Verbling, you're welcome to message me on Verbling or on my Facebook page, which I'm going to give you guys a name for my Facebook page in the chat box. So let's get started. I put the notes in the chat box as well. And today we're talking about vocabulary. Vocabulary in the airport and general travel vocabulary. All right. Amr, welcome to class.
Teacher.
Yeah?
Can you hear me?
Dalal, can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. I was having trouble hearing you before, but now I hear you perfectly. Welcome to class. It's nice to meet you. Where are you from? Dalal, where are you from?
I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Nice. All right. Well, if you have any questions for me or about verbling, let me know.
No. Nice to meet you.
And sorry, what? What did you say, Dalal?
I say nice to meet you.
Ah, nice to meet you too. Okay. So let's get into the notes today. Dive right in. We have a lot to cover. First, we're going to go over some vocabulary in the airport and do a little sentence fill-in. Then I'm going to ask you guys to describe your favorite or least favorite travel experience. So think about that as we're going over this vocabulary. I'm going to ask you to describe your favorite or least favorite travel experience. So to begin, I'm going to ask Tatiana to read the first paragraph that I'm highlighting or trying to highlight. Thanks.
When you go to the airport, you first need to check in. Find your airline, then go to the check-in counter for international flights. You are required to present your passport. But for domestic flights, only a photo ID is required. When you booked your ticket, you probably got a confirmation number. You should show this too, just in case. The airline agent will ask if you want to check luggage or if you only have carry-on luggage. You should check your luggage, large luggage, but you can carry smaller suitcases on the plane. After the agent gives you both boarding passes, you can go through security.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. All of the words in bold are defined below. So we're going to read the definitions for those words, and then I'll ask if you guys have any remaining questions. The first 5 vocabulary words, Paulo, will you read them for us?
Okay. The first is to check in. Check in to get your boarding passes or tickets and check your luggage. Okay.
Will you read 2 more?
Counter, the desk or a place where you do business, check in, pay money, etc. Present, to show and give something to someone. To present.
Thank you. Yeah, that's present, not to be confused with present, which is like a gift. But this is present, the verb. Thank you very much, Paulo.
Okay.
All right. The next 3, Javier, will you read them for us? That's starting with domestic until photo ID.
Yes. Domestic, within the country. International, outside of the country. Photo ID, an official ID with a photo, such as a driver's license or passport.
Thank you very much. The next 3 are for Fernando. Welcome to class, Fernando.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
I'm doing very well. Good morning. Are you with us? Do you have the notes open?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Will you read confirmation number, agent, and check luggage?
Yeah. The confirmation number, the number you get when you buy a ticket. Agent, the person at the check-in counter who works for the airline. Check luggage to put your larger suitcase in the bottom of the airplane.
Thank you very much. And the last few, Elena, will you finish that vocabulary list for us?
Yeah, with pleasure. Carry-on luggage, smaller bags that you can carry on the plane, small suitcases, backpacks, brochure, etc. Boarding passes, your ticket which you must have to get on the plane. Security, the part of the airport where they inspect passengers' bags and make sure that they don't have any weapons or anything illegal.
Thank you very much. And we have an idiom below, just in case, that was used in the paragraph. Daniel, will you read the definition for that idiom?
Yes, just in case. You say just in case when you know there might be a problem in the future and you do something to prepare for this problem. For example, I don't know if it will rain today, but I will bring an umbrella just in case.
Thank you very much. So do you guys have any remaining questions regarding this paragraph above? Talking about the airport? Excellent. If you guys think of questions, don't be shy. You can let me know or put them in the chat box.
About
Yeah?
the plural of luggage and luggage and what is the other? What is the plural of luggage? Luggage is no. 2 pieces of luggage.
Yeah, luggage does not have a plural because luggage is not countable. So a bag is countable. You can have one bag, 2 bags with an S. But luggage is the term for anything that you bring with you, and that's all of your bags are considered luggage. Similar to how I can have 1 couch and 2 couches, but the word furniture is never plural because it talks about the whole category of those items. So luggage is always singular.
Thanks.
Excellent question.
Thanks.
Anything else? All right. So, using all of these vocabulary words in this list, we're going to fill in some sentences. You also pay no attention to this part where it says fill in the blanks with the vocabulary. Just use the words from this list, the vocabulary list, to fill in the sentences below. Sentence number 1. Let's start with Dalal. Do you think you can read that sentence and fill in the blank with an appropriate vocabulary word?
I don't know. Maybe I can try.
Okay, give it your best shot.
Okay. The airline again will give you your when you check in.
So what will she give you when you check in?
Wait. Photo ID?
What?
I don't know.
What did you say?
Photo ID maybe?
Sorry, I'm having a little trouble understanding what you said. Can you repeat it one more time or try to put it in the chat box?
Okay. Maybe I can put in the gap. Photo
Okay.
ID.
I see. Photo ID is what you answered. Well, that's possible, but I think there's a better answer, and someone put it in the Google chat box already. So in the Google chat box, someone suggested boarding pass, which I think is the best answer for this blank, because when you go to the airline agent, you check in and they give you your boarding pass, which is the piece of paper you use to enter your flight. So I think that's the
confirmation number. maybe, no?
Or possibly confirmation number. That might be another
Because
one that you could.
your boarding passes.
Mm-hmm.
He will give you yours boarding passes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's multiple vocabulary words that might complete this. So possibly boarding pass, maybe confirmation number, and maybe even photo ID. If you give the person your photo ID, they'll give it back to you, perhaps. So I think any of those are okay for this one. How about number 2? This one is for Amr. Amr, are you there?
Yes.
Excellent. It's so good to see you back in class, Amr.
Thank you.
It's been a while. Do you think you could try number 2 for us?
Okay. This is an international flight, so you will need to bring your passport.
Excellent. Well done. An international flight. I think that's the best answer for number 2. All right. Sentence number 3. We're back to Tatiana. Will you complete sentence number 3 for us?
When I went through security check, they told me I couldn't take my pocket knife on the plane.
Exactly. The security check. All right. Number 4. Paulo, will you complete it for us?
Yes, sure. Number 4, please wait in line for the next available flight.
Maybe the next available flight, but I think there's a better answer for this one.
I don't know. For the best domestic flight.
Okay, so domestic flight
seat.
is a possible answer, maybe even seat. But does anyone know if there's another one we could use here? Usually,
maybe boarding passes. No.
I don't think it would be boarding pass. This one it's a common phrase when you're waiting in line to talk to somebody. Maybe you have a question or you want to check in.
Counter.
Okay, so it could be please wait in line for the next available counter or the next available agent. The agent is the person who will help you answer a question or give you your boarding pass or help you with anything you need help with. So it's commonly said, please wait in line for the next available agent. So we could put a couple different ones in number 4, but I think agent is the best one for that blank. All right, number 5. Osama, welcome to class.
Thank you. Number 5, after I paid for my plane ticket, the travel agent gave me a confirmation number.
Yeah, usually when you pay, you get a confirmation number. Thank you very much, Osama. Number 6, Javier, give it a try.
Many domestic airlines don't have international flights.
Many domestic airlines don't have international flights. Thank you, Javier.
You're welcome.
Number 7, Fernando.
You can buy a ticket at the airport if you don't have one.
Okay. You can buy a ticket at the airport. That's a possible word we could put in that blank. But if you're choosing from the words that are our vocabulary, that would be these bold words up here. Could you come up with another word that might fit that blank as well?
Okay. Yes.
The counter.
The counter, I think, is the best word from our vocabulary list to complete this blank. Airport is also a good one. It's just not one of our vocabulary words. Okay. Number 8, Elena, go for it.
My suitcase was too big, so I had to check in. To check in.
Yeah, I had to check it.
Yeah.
Excellent. So if your bag is too big, you have to check it.
Yeah.
Number 9, Daniel.
When you go through security, they might ask you to present your passport and boarding pass.
Exactly. They ask you to present them. Thank you. And number 10, Dalal. Do number 10 for us.
We need to. Can I show vocabulary? Please.
What?
Can I show the vocabulary?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Boarding.
Did you say boarding pass?
Yes.
Sure. So you could say we need to get our boarding pass before we can go through security. That's a possible one. What else do we need to do before we can go through security?
Check in.
Yeah, check in. So we check in and receive our boarding pass before we go through security. Both of those are okay to complete this sentence. Get a boarding pass or check in before going through security. Okay, so trying to use some of this vocabulary, I'm going to ask you guys to tell me about your best or worst travel experience. And I don't necessarily mean the vacation part, but the part when you actually get on a plane or maybe something stressful, a ship, a bus, any kind of travel experience that's been great or terrible. And I'm going to start on the left with Amr. Tell us, Amr, what's your best or worst travel experience?
Actually, I haven't traveled with by plane, but I travel a lot by bus. But I have never had a bad experience about travel.
That's okay. Tell us about your best or worst travel by bus. That's perfectly acceptable.
Okay. There was a trip when I was at university to Hurghada in Egypt, and it has a long time to go there. It was about 12 hours by bus.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. So it was very tired.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
exhausting.
Yeah.
It can be really difficult when you have to travel for a long period of time.
Yeah.
A little uncomfortable. Okay. Dalal, tell us about your best or worst experience traveling. Dalal, are you there? Okay, Dalal, I can't hear you, so I will move on and come back to you later. Daniel, will you tell us about your best or worst experience traveling?
Yes. When I went with my wife to our honeymoon, we went to Egypt. During that trip, everything was amazing, everything okay. But when we had to take a domestic flight, we had troubles because book, uh, our book, it wasn't in time, and our travel agent take us 2 hours later, and we miss the flight.
Oh no.
And even our travel agent didn't can't go into the airport because security, and I couldn't speak English, but my wife he speaks, and he could fix the problem. But an hour it was sweet. We for terrible.
Wow, yeah, that's stressful. Luckily, your wife could help
Yes,
out, so it sounds like it ended okay, but it was a
yes.
stressful time.
Because I learning English.
Yeah, that's a good reason. Travel is
Yes,
one of the top reasons to learn English.
yes.
All right. Elena, tell us about your best or worst time traveling.
Yeah. Um, it was a funny story, but it was some experience for me. We was in Thailand with my husband, and we had a ticket for the flight. The holiday was were wonderful. Just we wanted to return to Russia, and my husband is not a Russian citizen. He is a Peruvian guy, and normally he needs visa to live here in Russia. But for that time when we was in Thailand, it was 20th of June, and on 20th of June in Russia, my husband didn't need any visa because of new rules between Peru and Russia. We knew that information, and we was on 20th in Thailand, on 20th of June in Thailand, and we wanted to check in, but the agents couldn't do that because of the difference of time. You know, in Thailand it was 20th, but in Russia it was 19th, and that's why we couldn't fly. And they couldn't do nothing because of the difference. And they tried to call to Russia, but in Russia it was night, and so nobody worked at that time. And finally we were waiting for some times, and it was 8, and the agents started to work here in Russia, and they called, and they said that it's okay, we could be checking, and finally we were checking, and we flight. But it was really real stressful situation because we had to flight, and we had to all for that, but just because of the difference of time we couldn't do that, and finally we solved this problem, but it was very stressful. And you know, we flight in business class because we were last passenger for this flight, so we had very vacation places in business class. That was great.
Wow. So
Yeah.
it sounds like a terrible experience overall, but at least you got upgraded to business class for the last little part of it.
Yeah. That was great. Finally,
A very
everything goes
ridiculous
fine.
situation.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, interesting story. Fernando, tell us about your best or worst travel experience. Fernando, are you there? Fernando, you're muted. If you come to the top here, you can unmute yourself. If it's red, you're muted. Gray means that you can speak. And if you're having a different problem, try to change your settings and switch your microphone. All right. Paulo, tell us about your best or worst
Yes.
travel experience.
Yes, I haven't had any particular trouble about this kind of situation, but just I'm a bit terrifying about traveling by plane. So a lot of years ago, when I joined the police, I had to take for a long time a plane. So at the beginning, I got cold feet about it, but after a while, I I I was I got how can I say I got used to it very soon. So now I'm glad that I had this opportunity to take the plane for a long time because I'm completely used to it. But
So
nothing.
you're an expert traveler now.
Yes, because for 1 year I took a plane every week, or 2 times a week more or less. Yes, so I
Wow.
became an expert.
Yeah, you have so much experience.
Yes, because my course was in Sardinia, so I had to move from Italy to Sardinia.
Wow.
So every week. So, but nothing. Yeah, but I didn't occur anything during my flights. So this
Okay.
is why I am so sure. I'm confident now.
All right, sounds like you're very secure and experienced in traveling, which is something, it's a good skill to have, actually. Good skill.
About flight.
Yeah, being a
Yeah.
good traveler is a nice thing.
Yes.
Definitely.
But
All
you
right.
never know what can happen.
Yeah, every trip is a little bit different, right?
Yes.
Unexpected things pop up all the time.
Yes, that's the main problem.
All right, Tatiana, tell us about your best or worst experience traveling.
Yes, okay. It happened when I decided to go to Antalya for a rest. It's in Turkey, and but there wasn't direct flight, and we need to change our flight in Istanbul. And when we came to Istanbul, there were no who met us. Nobody met us, and we didn't know where to go. And I tried to explain in English what do we need, but I don't know why nobody understood us, and nobody knew English language. And fortunately, I knew Turkish language because before I went maybe 10 times in Turkey. And I explained to the officers that we need to give our new boarding passes, and then we got, and when we came to Antalya, there was another accident because you know, in Antalya there are two airports, and our luggage went to another airport.
Oh God.
Yes, and we began to find out our luggage, but fortunately everything was okay. We found it, but maybe it took us 2 or 3 hours for this.
Wow, that sounds terrible.
Yes.
A lot went wrong. There's a lot of errors made at that airport and with your flight. Ah, traveling can be so stressful. I think my worst traveling experience was when I was going from Italy to Boston. When I was leaving Italy the last time, I went from Milan to Boston, but I had a layover in Ireland. And during my first flight, there was a strike in Italy. So my first flight was canceled, and I missed all my other flights, and I had to spend 2 days talking to the airlines and the companies and the airport, trying to figure out how I could rebook my flight since I had missed all of my flights because of the airport strike in the Milan airport. So it was a very difficult experience as well. Okay. Any other questions or comments before we move on to our flight safety instructions?
Yes, just a small thing about what you said. To layover is both a verb and a noun. Is it?
Yeah, a layover is when you have to get off the airplane and get onto a new airplane.
Can we use it like a noun as well, or just as a verb, like a verb?
Yeah, a layover. I had a layover in Ireland.
Okay.
Yeah, usually it's a noun. No problem. Okay. So, flight safety instructions. Let me put the notes back up. Here we go. Flight safety instructions. This is what they say on most flights. Usually they do it in many different languages. This is the English version of it. They use some advanced vocabulary in this very standard speech they give on almost all flights. So when you're on a plane, you may hear a flight attendant give a speech like this. Paragraph number 1, Amr, will you read it for us?
Sure. Flight safety instructions. When you're on a plane, you may hear a flight attendant give a speech like this. We'll be taking off momentarily, so please make sure your carry-on baggage is stored securely, either in an overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. Mobile phones and other electronic devices should be turned off. There are 6 exits on this plane. 3 doors on each side. All exits are clearly marked with an exit sign. Please take the time to find the exit nearest you.
Thank you very much, Amr. And the next paragraph, I'm going to ask Dalal to read for us, starting with the first line on that page, and the rest of the paragraph is on the next page.
Okay. There are 6 exits on this plane, 3 doors on each side. All exits are clearly marked with an exit sign. Please take the time to find the exit nearest you. If you're seated in an exit row, please review. Okay. The responsi- the res- they the responsibilities for emergency exits written on the back of the safety information card is in your seat pocket. If you are unable or prefer not to do this, please let us know and we'll be happy to find you another seat.
Thank you very much, Dalal. Daniel, will you read the next paragraph for us, starting with
Yes.
if there is a loss?
If there is a loss of cabin pressure, the panels above your seat will open, and oxygen masks will drop down. If this happens, place the mask over your nose and mouth, and adjust it as necessary. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others. In the event of a water landing, life vests are under your seat.
Sorry. The next very short paragraphs, these three at the bottom, Elena, will you read?
Whenever the seatbelt sign is on, please make sure your seatbelt is fastened. That's all, or smoking is not allowed.
You can finish this.
Okay. Smoking is not allowed on our flights, and federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying a smoke detector. Thank you for your attention. We hope you enjoy your flight.
Okay. So chances are, if you have taken a flight before, you have heard some version of this exact speech. Javier, welcome back to class. Did you want to tell us about your best or worst travel experience? That's what we were doing when you had to take off.
My first experience on flight was 20 years ago. My first flight was to Mexico. I never flew, and my first flight was 12 hours. Was a nice experience because if the experience had bad had been terrible, because 12 hours flying are very much hours, but my experience was very nice. After this, I fly every weeks, 2 or 3 times. For me, fly now is a very normal transportation in my normal week.
Sounds like you and Paulo have that in common. You both fly a lot.
Yes, I fly a lot.
All right. So, going back to our vocabulary, we're going to read the definitions for all of those words in bold. There are some advanced vocabulary words in this speech, but hopefully they'll all be clear by the end. So I'm going to ask Javier to read the first 4 vocabulary words from momentarily, stowed securely, overhead compartment, and devices.
Okay. Momentarily. Soon, in a moment. Stow securely. Put away safety. To stow means to put something away, and secure means in a safe place. Overhead compartment. A compartment is a small place where you can put things. The overhead compartments are the place above the seat where people put their bags. Device. Small machines like games, MP3 players, DVD players, etc.
Thank you very much. The next 4 vocabulary words, Paulo, will you read them for us?
Yes. Devices. Are we here? Devices, small. Ah, no. Okay. Exits. Where you live, a plane, room, or a building. Marked to show where something is. The exits are marked with an exit sign showing a person walking through a door. Responsibilities, things that you should do or have to do. Yes, emergency. When something very serious happens, you need to act quickly, like in a car accident, an earthquake, or a fire.
Thank you very much. The next 4 vocabulary words, I'm going to ask Tatiana to read for us.
From what word? Tell me, please.
Starting with unable to and ending with oxygen mask.
Unable to, cannot, not able to. Loss of cabin pressure. The air in the airplane gets lighter or heavier and it becomes harder to breathe. Panels, small doors, flat pieces of wood, metal, plastic, etc. Oxygen masks, masks that help you breathe oxygen, for example, when there is a loss of cabin pressure.
Thank you very much. And I think I actually skipped one here. We have seat pocket, which is the pocket on the back of the seat in front of you with magazines and safety instructions. Sorry about that. And the rest of the vocabulary words, I'm going to ask Amr to read for us on the next page.
Okay. Adjust to change the position of something necessary as you need to. Fasten to writing. Federal law, the law of a country. Tampering with, disabling or destroying, changing, turning off.
Thank you very much. Okay, so do you guys have any remaining questions from the speech that we read? It uses a lot of advanced vocabulary, very formal vocabulary. So if you guys think of any questions, you can ask me now or put the question in the chat box and I'll get to it soon. Okay. In the meantime, we're going to use those vocabulary words to complete another fill in the blank. It can be difficult, but don't worry if you get it wrong. We'll work on it together and find the right or the best word to fit it. Dalal, I know you always have been starting these exercises, but will you do the first one for us?
Disable. Okay. The question that you go wrong, it is enable with an X. Is that true?
Not quite unable. I think there's a better word here. So unable means that you're not capable, maybe. But we're saying that the questions, if you have a test and you get 2 questions wrong, they might have some special sign that shows what? Marked. Yeah, that's the one. So the questions that you got wrong are marked with an X. Perfect. Number 2. Daniel, go ahead and read number 2 and fill in the blank if you can.
Yes. You can adjust the volume of the TV device. If it is too loud, turn the volume down. If it is too quiet, turn the volume up.
I can't agree.
Okay, what do you think it is?
Is necessary.
I believe also TV panels.
Interesting. So we have several answers here. Someone said panels, someone said as necessary, and the other one said device. Okay. So device, I think that was our first answer. It's a close match because the device might be talking about the remote, I imagine. So the remote is considered a device, and you can use the remote to adjust the TV. But because we don't have the word remote in this sentence, I don't think device is the best word to complete this. The next one I heard was panels. And panels is another possibility. So you can adjust the volume of the TV with the panels or using the panels. I think that would also be an acceptable answer. But I think as necessary is the best answer for this one, because the second sentence, it specifies too loud or too low. You can adjust it. So if it's too quiet, turn the volume up. If it's too loud, turn the volume down. And I think as necessary is the best answer, although panels also works.
Okay.
All right. Number 3 is the last one. Elena, did you do? I think this one's for you.
Yeah. Oxygen mask will drop down from the panels above your seat if there is a loss of cabin pressure.
Yes, exactly. Perfect answer. So the panel, when you're on a flight, an airplane, there's a square of plastic above every person's head, and it can be removed in case of an emergency. It's a small door, and that's what they talk about when they say a panel, the small door above your head in an airplane.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Number 4, Javier, your turn. Will you read it and try to fill it in if it's possible?
I'll try. In the event of... I don't know.
That's okay. So we have a clue here because the word before the blank is an, meaning that the word coming next has to start with a vowel.
Yes.
So the words we have starting with vowels.
Emergency? No?
Yeah, I think emergency is the best answer for this one. In the event of an emergency, call the police.
Yes, I agree.
Awesome. Good job. Number 5, Paulo, go ahead.
Okay. 5. The flight will be landing immediately, so please fasten your seat belts and securely stow all electronic devices.
Did you say immediately?
Immediately or momentarily? Momentarily?
There we go. Momentarily. Yes, momentarily is the... Thank you very much. Number 6, Tatiana. Read number 6 for us.
The exit sign shows a man walking out of the room.
Yep, the exit sign. Thank you. Number 7, back at the beginning to Amr. Will you read and complete number 7 for us?
Okay. People who are planning to walk can use wheelchairs. People who... Unable.
Yep. Perfect answer. People who are unable to walk can use wheelchairs. Number 8, Dalal, your turn. Read it for us and try to fill in the blank if it's possible.
If you are too hot, you can adjust the temperature on the air conditioner.
Excellent. Great answer. You can adjust the temperature. Number 9, Daniel.
The Japanese have invented many interesting electronic devices.
Yeah, great answer. Electronic devices.
Maybe
No.
in my first phrase could be instead of device as necessary. You can adjust the volume of the TV as necessary. Maybe?
Yeah, so the volume of the TV, probably the best answer for that one is as necessary. And this one, the best answer is devices. You have it just right.
Okay.
Thank you. Elena, will you do number 10 for us?
Yeah, sure, with pleasure. Federal law prohibits tampering with smoke detectors.
Definitely. Number 11, Javier?
I have many market at home, like taking out the trash and washing dishes, or many device. No.
Responsibilities.
Maybe responsibilities.
Yeah, I think responsibilities
Yes,
is the best answer.
I agree.
Excellent. So, I have many responsibilities at home, like taking out the trash and washing the dishes. Number 12, Paulo. Read it and answer it for us.
According to federal law, you must fasten your seatbelt when you are in a car. Fasten.
Awesome. So, speech. Any remaining questions on vocabulary we didn't talk about or vocabulary that's still confusing, you can ask me right after. So we'll be taking off momentarily, so please make sure your carry-on baggage is stowed securely, either in an overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. Mobile phones and other electronic devices should be turned off. There are 6 exits on this plane, 3 doors on each side. All exits are clearly marked with an exit sign. Please take the time to find the exit nearest you. If you're seated in an exit row, please review the responsibility emergency exit seating on the back of the safety information card, which is in your seat pocket. If you are unable or prefer not to do this, please let us know and we will be happy to find you another seat. If there is a loss of cabin pressure, the panels above your seat will open and oxygen masks will drop down. If this happens, place the mask over your nose and mouth and adjust it as necessary. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others. In the event of a water landing, life vests are under your seat. Whenever the seatbelt sign is on, please make sure your seatbelt is fastened. Smoking is not allowed on our flights, and federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying a smoke detector. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy your flight. Lots of noise is happening. Okay. Do you guys have any remaining questions on that speech? Any of the vocabulary or...
About row, what does it mean, row, exit?
Row is the line of seats. So when you enter an airplane, you'll have rows, like lines and lines of seats that go from right to left or from left to right. So let me find an example for you. I'm going to find a picture for you so I can better describe it. Okay. So in this picture, You can see the row of 3 seats here and a row of 3 seats over here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many of them. So each line of seats is called a row.
Oh, okay, okay, fine. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No. Okay.
No.
All right, awesome. Well, there's more to be done and completed on this exercise. So if you guys want to do this on your own time, you're welcome to ask me for the correct answers or any other questions you have, because there's more vocabulary on accommodations and another exercise below. We've run out of time in this class, but thank you guys for coming and participating, and I hope to see you all again soon.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.